The text lights my phone like a flare in the dark. It is not for me. You are late. Do not bowl. Do not do your routine. If you do, it learns you. It already has your name, Evan Mercer. My full name sits there, spelled right, like it has been copied from a form I signed years ago. The sender is a number with my own area code, but the contact photo is blank and the thread is empty, like it has been created only to deliver this. I stand in the parking lot with the engine still taking heat. The bowling alley sign hums and stutters through its letters as if it is tired of being itself. A lane of light spills from the entrance onto wet asphalt. I can smell fryer oil even out here. I come here every Thursday at 8:30. I park in the same spot. I walk in, nod at the same bartender, take the same pair of house shoes from the same shelf, and request lane 12 because the ball return there has a slight delay that makes me feel less rushed. It is not superstition. It is comfort. It is one of the few things I can do without thinking. My thumb hovers over the message. I look for a joke, a friend, a coworker, someone who knows my full name and my schedule. Another text arrives. If you are already inside, do not go near the back corridor. The chain is latched. My eyes lift to the glass doors. The entryway is empty behind them, lit by fluorescent rectangles. I can see the prize claw machine, the vending machine with the stuck spiral, the poster for cosmic bowling that never changes. Nothing moves. I should turn around. There is no reason I cannot. The idea of leaving makes my ribs tight, not because I'm brave, but because routine has a grip like a habit does. I put my phone in my pocket and tell myself I will go in long enough to ask if someone has been using my name. The door opens with a small rush of warm air. The sound hits next, that familiar layered noise of rolling balls, pins cracking, distant laughter, the low drone of the pinsetters cycling. It feels like stepping into a memory. A man at the counter looks up, then looks down again. He is in a black polo with the alley logo, and his hair is slicked back in a way that reminds me of someone I knew in high school. Behind him, the wall clock shows 8:28. I glance at it twice. It was 8:33 in my car. My dashboard clock is synced to my phone. I walk closer. My shoes squeak on the polished floor. The counterman smiles without warmth. His eyes go to my hands as if he expects me to hold something. I clear my throat. My voice sounds too loud against the ceiling. I say, I got a weird message. He does not ask what it says. He says, shoes. I watch his mouth form the word. It is not a question. He is not greeting me. He is prompting me. I say, I'm not sure I'm bowling tonight. His smile stays in place like tape. Joe's behind me. The entry doors open and close. A couple walks in and heads to the arcade. Their laughter is soft and normal. The world is acting right, but the counterman is not. I force myself to look away from him and toward the shoe racks. The house shoes are lined up with their toes facing out like they are waiting. I always take size 10 pair with a red stripe. It is always there. I go to the shelf. The red stripe pair is already pulled out and placed on the bench beneath the rack, angled toward me like it has been set out in advance. A small thing, but my skin tightens. I glance back at the counter. The man is watching me with the same expression a teacher uses when a student is taking too long to start an exam. I sit anyway. I tell myself the staff could have seen me through the glass and set them out. I tell myself this is normal. I unlace my sneakers. As I bend, a metallic click comes from the hallway that leads toward the restrooms in the back corridor. It is the sound of a door chain being set. I freeze with one shoe half off. The second message said the chain is latched. I look toward the hallway. From here I cannot see the door itself, just the mouth of the corridor with its carpet that has a pattern of neon shapes meant to feel energetic. The light back there looks dimmer than the main area. The couple passes behind me and heads toward the lanes. Their voices fade under the thud of a ball. I pull off my other sneaker and slide my feet into the house shoes. The leather is warm, as if someone has just been wearing them. When I stand, the counterman taps something on his screen and nods toward the lanes. Lane 12, he says. I do not tell him that I did not pay. I do not tell him that I did not ask. I walk toward lane 12 because my legs know the way. The lanes stretch out in glossy parallel lines. The overhead screens glow with cartoon graphics. On lane 12, the ball return unit sits like a swap machine animal. 3 balls rest in the cradle, each with drilled finger holes. My usual ball is a blue 14-pounder with a shallow scratch near the thumb hole. It is there. I stop a few feet from it. The scratch catches the light like an eyelid. My fingers twitch. I tell myself again that none of this is impossible. Someone could have guessed. Someone could have watched me. It could be a prank. But the text used my full name. I take out my phone. No new messages. I look up at the lane. The pins stand at the far end in their perfect triangle. The pin deck light is bright and clean, almost too clean. The air smells like oil and old carpet. The screen above lane 12 shows my name already entered. Evan, no last name, but it is enough. My throat goes dry. I look around for a friend waving me over, for someone holding a camera. The lanes are busy, but not packed. A group of teenagers 2 lanes over, a family near the far side, a lone man practicing on lane 2. Nobody looks at me. I step closer to the console and touch the screen. It does not respond. The buttons feel dead beneath my fingertips. I set my phone on a table and pick up the blue ball. It is heavier than it should be, like it is full of wet sand. My fingers fit the holes perfectly, too perfectly, as if the ball has been drilled for my hand alone. I hold it against my palm and listen to my own breathing. I always do a small routine. I roll my shoulders once. I tap the ball with my thumb. I take 2 steps back from the foul line. then one forward to a line. I look at the second arrow from the right. I exhale, then I bowl. I realize I am doing the first part without meaning to. My shoulders roll. I stop. My heart bangs against my ribs. The text said do not do your routine. If you do, it learns you. I set the ball down too fast. It thumps the ball return cradle and rocks. A sound comes from the pin deck. Not the crack of pins, not the whir of the setter. It is a soft mechanical clatter, like plastic pieces being rearranged. I stare down the lane. The pins move. They reset themselves. The triangle dissolves and reforms. The sweep bar drops and lifts even though no ball has been thrown. The pins are suddenly spotless, aligned with eerie precision. My stomach turns. I blink hard. My eyes water from the lane oil smell. The pins reset again, then again. It is as if the machine is testing the motion, rehearsing it. Like something is practicing being normal. I take a step back, shoes squeaking. On the overhead screen, my turn indicator flashes. A cheery sound plays, too loud. I reach for my phone. A new message arrives as my fingers touch it. It is already starting. It will try to keep you inside the loop. Leave before frame 20. Frame 20 is not a thing in standard bowling. 10 frames, unless you get extra shots. Frame 20 is nonsense. I swallow and look at the clock above the lanes. It reads 8:21. It was 8:28 at the counter. My car said 8:33. Time is not behaving. I grab my phone and the blue ball at the same time. Then realize how stupid that is. I put the ball back and keep the phone. I start walking away from lane 12. Behind me, the pins reset again. The noise is louder this time, impatient. I move faster. I aim for the entrance, but the layout forces me past the hallway to the restrooms and the back corridor. The carpet pattern seems to shift under my feet, neon shapes sliding like fish. As I pass the hallway, I glance down it. A door sits at the end with a metal chain across it. The chain is latched. I cannot see what is on the other side, only a thin line of darkness at the crack, as if the door is trying to breathe. Another click comes from it, subtle, like a fingernail tapping metal. My phone vibrates. Do not look at the chain too long. I jerk my gaze away, heart sprinting. I keep walking. The entrance is closer now. I can see the glass doors, the wet shine of the parking lot beyond. A group of men in work shirts enters, pushing the doors open. Cold air rushes in. For a moment I feel relief because they are real, loud, smelling of diesel and sweat. They step aside politely as I approach. I push through. The door does not move. I push again, harder. The handle flexes. The glass rattles. It is locked. The men behind me shove past, annoyed. One of them yanks the other door. It does not budge. He frowns. He tries again. Locked, he says. Another man laughs like it is a mild inconvenience. They turn away, already losing interest, heading back toward the lanes. I stare at the exit. The world outside is right there. I can see my car. I can see my breath cloud on the glass, but the doors do not open. My phone vibrates again. It locks what you expect to use. My hands shake. I turn, backing away from the doors, trying not to run. The counter is in sight. The man in the black polo stands in the same place. He watches me. I walk up to him and say, "The doors are locked." He blinks slowly. His smile returns. "Lane 12, he says. I say, "Let me out." He tilts his head like he does not understand language, only patterns. Lane 12. The clock behind him reads 8:28 again. My vision pulses at the edges. I check my phone time. 8:35. I look back at the wall clock. 8:28. It is stuck. Or I am. I step away from the counter, my mouth tasting like pennies. I scan for another exit. There is a side door near the snack bar that leads to the service area. There is a fire exit sign near the far wall. I start toward the fire exit. Halfway there, the lights flicker. The sound of bowling drops out for a single beat, like someone has muted the room. Then it returns, but wrong, a fraction delayed, like an echo that does not match the source. People keep moving, laughing, lifting balls, but their motions are slightly out of sync with their own sounds. A ball rolls down lane 7 and the pins fall a second before it hits them. My stomach heaves. On lane 12, the pins reset again, loud enough to cut through everything. I reach the fire exit and grab the bar. It does not depress. It is stiff, like it is welded. I press my shoulder into the door. Nothing. My phone vibrates. It wants you back at lane 12. It needs you to complete the sequence. Sequence. Routine. My routine. I look toward lane 12. The overhead screen flashes my name. The turn indicator blinks faster, like a heartbeat. I feel a pull that is not physical but behavioral. The way a familiar song makes your mouth shape the lyrics without permission. My feet turn. I fight it. I walk toward the snack bar instead, toward the service door. A teenage employee stands there with a tray of nachos. His face is blank with exhaustion. I say, "Hey, the doors are locked. Can you open the front?" He looks at me without focus. His eyes slide past my face to something behind me. Lane 12, he says softly. The same phrase, different mouth. My skin crawls. I back away. As I do, I see the hallway again, the door with the chain. The chain is not just latched. It is taut, pulled tight as if something on the other side is leaning into it. The metal trembles. Huh. My phone buzzes with another message, this one longer. It copies you because you repeat. It cannot take what you do not do. Break the order. Change anything. Do not let it see the next step. I stare at the words until they blur. Break the order. Change anything. My mind scrambles for what counts as change. I always go to lane 12. I always use the blue ball. I always look at the second arrow. I always exhale. I always roll. If I do something different, maybe it loses the pattern. My gaze lands on lane 11. The lane lane beside mine is empty. Its overhead screen is dark. Its ball return holds a green ball with wide finger holes. I walk to lane 11. My heart pounds like I am breaking into somewhere. I pick up the green ball. It is lighter, maybe 12 pounds. I step onto the approach of lane 11 and look at the arrows. I force myself to look at the third arrow from the left, something I never use. I do not roll my shoulders. I do not tap the ball with my thumb. I take a single step instead of my usual. I hold my breath. I swing the ball and release. It rolls down lane 11 with a smooth hum. Halfway down, the pins on lane 11 reset. They reset before the ball reaches them. The sweep drops, clears nothing, and the pins reappear in a fresh triangle as my ball continues rolling toward a target that keeps becoming new. My ball hits the pin deck area where the pins should be, but the pins are not there anymore. They have reset again, snapping back into place behind the ball, as if the lane is folding time like a sheet. The ball keeps rolling, but the distance never closes. It is like watching a treadmill carry it away from the end. A nausea of unreality washes over me. The overhead screen above lane 11 flickers to life. Evan, my name, appears there too, as if the alley itself has decided that every lane is lane 12. The pins on lane 12 reset in response, loud and angry. The counter man begins to walk from behind the desk. His steps are measured. His shoes make no sound. Other employees appear, drifting from the snack bar, from the arcade, from the hallway. Their faces are neutral. Their eyes are all on me. They move like they are being pulled by the same string. I step back from the lane. I turn toward the hallway with the chain door because it is the only thing that looks like a boundary, an actual physical barrier that might be real. The chain rattles harder as I approach, as if it recognizes me. I stop a few feet away. The door is a plain service door, painted beige, with scuff marks near the bottom. The chain is silver, hooked into a bracket. There is no sign, no window. My phone vibrates. Do not open it. If it is latched when you arrive, it is latched for you. I stare at the chain. It is already latched. It was latched before I came near. A sound comes from the other side of the door. Not a knock. A bowling ball rolling on wood, slow and heavy, circling as if it is being rolled in place. Then a voice, muffled but close, says my name. Evan Mercer. It sounds like my own voice recorded and played through a cheap speaker. My pulse roars in my ears. I step back. The employees continue to drift closer behind me, their footsteps still silent, their mouths closed. The overhead screens across the lanes begin to flash the same thing, one after another, like a wave. Evan, the pins reset in a rhythm now, synchronized across multiple lanes, a rapid mechanical breathing. The wall clock near the counter clicks backward. 8:28, 8:27, 8:26. The sound in the room lags further, laughter arriving late, pin crashes preceding the roll. My phone buzzes again. It is at frame 19. When it reaches frame 20, it stops needing you to move. I look down at my hands. They are trembling, fingers flexing like they want to fit into drilled holes. I try to remember if I have ever bowled more than 3 games here. I try to remember if I have ever stayed late. My mind offers only the same loop of Thursdays. The chained door rattles once, sharp. On the other side, the rolling sound stops. A new sound replaces it, a chain sliding. Not my side. The latch on my side stays hooked, but the metal trembles as if something is undoing an identical chain in a mirrored place. The door handle turns a fraction, testing. The employees behind me stop moving. They stand in a half circle, heads slightly tilted, listening. The lights dim, then brighten, then dim again. My phone screen goes black for a second. When it returns, there is one final message. He is here. He bowls like you. Do not let him finish your routine. The handle on the chain door turns again, harder. The chain jerks tight, the bracket groaning. Something on the other side exhales, and the sound is exactly my own breath, timed to the way I always exhale before I roll. My shoulders begin to roll on their own. I clamp my arms to my sides and stare at the chain as it strains, metal whitening at the links. Behind me, lane 12 lets out one last violent reset, like a machine slamming its fist down. The chain snaps one link at a time, and I hear my own voice on the other side whisper, almost amused. 2 steps back, 1 forward. I cannot move, but my feet shift anyway. The door jolts inward against the chain, and the bracket starts to pull from the frame. The lights go out. In the dark, I hear a bowling ball roll toward me from somewhere inside the hallway, slow, steady, perfectly aligned with my usual approach. Then the wall clock clicks to 8:28 again, and the ball stops. Right at my toes, I feel it waiting. I feel the room waiting, and in the silence, the pins begin to reset once more, closer than they should be, as if the end of the lane is sliding toward me. My phone vibrates in my pocket with a new message, but the screen will not light. The chain door gives one final shudder, and I hear the metal brackets here. My body inhales, preparing to exhale, preparing to bowl, and something in the dark behind the door whispers my full name again, right against my ear, as if it is already standing beside me. Evan Mercer. My fingers curl, searching for holes that are not there, and the pins reset so loud it feels like teeth snapping shut.